So April 2nd is going to be a big day. We're going to roll out the reciprocal tariffs.
This is a massive week for Bitcoin, a huge week for financial markets. And it's all because on April 2nd, global reciprocal tariffs go into effect. What does that mean? Every single country that trades with the United States will now face tariffs if they've been taxing U.S. goods. This could have ripple effects across the global economy. But more importantly, what does this mean for Bitcoin? Let's dive in.
The tariffs will be far more generous than those countries were to us, meaning they will be kinder than those countries were to the United States of America over the decades. They ripped us off like no country's ever been ripped off in history. And we're going to be much nicer than they were to us, but it's substantial money for the country, nevertheless.
We're covering everything: the impact of these tariffs on Bitcoin, the latest updates on Cardano, Dogecoin news, and lower cap altcoins you need to know about. Stay tuned for the full breakdown. But first, breaking news. The Trump family is officially stepping into Bitcoin mining, introducing American Bitcoin, a major mining venture backed by Eric and Don Jr. in partnership with Hut 8. This move signals a full-scale push to ensure the U.S. remains dominant in Bitcoin mining. And I have to say, Anthony Pompliano had a great take on this.
The Trump family just announced they're jumping in the Bitcoin mining game. Eric Trump and Don Jr., they previously started a company around American data centers. That company announced a transaction this morning with Hut 8, one of the publicly traded Bitcoin miners, that they're going to merge together the mining operations from Hut 8 and the data center operations of American data centers. The combined entity will operate as a subsidiary of Hut 8, and Hut 8 shareholders are going to own 80% of the business. Eric Trump, the son of the president, he's going to serve as the chief strategy officer. And now remember, Eric Trump, he really believes in Bitcoin. He previously said on stage at a conference that the digital currency was going to $1 million per coin. So if you think Bitcoin's going that high, then you want to mine as much of it as you possibly can get.
Here's the deal. American Bitcoin will manage 61,000 mining machines with Eric Trump as chief strategy officer. They also plan to build a corporate Bitcoin reserve. Yes, an actual company-owned Bitcoin stash. Hut 8 is taking an 80% stake in this venture, supplying the mining hardware and managing operations across 11 U.S. data centers. This is a serious push for large-scale, cost-efficient Bitcoin production. But it doesn't stop there. The Trump family's involvement in crypto is expanding. They've already launched World Liberty Financial, a DeFi project, dabbled in meme coins, and are even exploring a stablecoin. Clearly, they have a vested interest in making sure Bitcoin and crypto thrive in America for the long haul. And it's not just the US making moves. The Bitcoin hash rate is going parabolic right now, and historically, price follows hash. Take a look at this chart. It shows just how many miners worldwide are driving Bitcoin's security and strength to new highs. For context, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high of $69,000 back in 2021, the hash rate was also at record levels. Fast forward to today, Bitcoin is hovering around $80,000, and the hash rate is absolutely skyrocketing. This suggests that the network's fundamentals are stronger than ever, yet Bitcoin still appears undervalued. And then, in an unexpected twist, Elon Musk just weighed in on Dogecoin again for the first time in ages, mentioning it in connection to the Department of Government Efficiency.
The names are similar, but they're doing two very different things. In fact, I was going to call it like the Government Efficiency Commission, but that's a super boring name. And then the internet said, no, it needs to be called the Department of Government Efficiency. I was like, well, the internet is right. So we changed the name from Government Efficiency Commission to Department of Government Efficiency. But there are no plans for the government to use Dogecoin or anything, as far as I know. So that they happen to be similar names, but really it's just, we're just literally trying to make the government 15% more efficient.
Let's talk Cardano. Founder Charles Hoskinson just announced their next major scalability upgrade, Laos. And get this, it's aiming to bring Solana-level speed while maintaining full decentralization.
We have $1.5 billion on chain to basically make strategic investments for as long as necessary. And we have all the technology coming online to support it, like Midgard is our layer 2 optimistic rollup system. And then we have Laos, which is going to give us kind of Solana style speed, but full decentralization and no stalls. And then we have all the zero knowledge technology that's coming in too. We're kind of state of the art on the zero knowledge side.
So what is Laos? It's a key part of Cardano's broader scaling strategy, designed to dramatically increase the base layer's throughput. How? By parallelizing validation and execution processes, optimizing transaction input handling, and introducing a more flexible mempool design. Hoskinson put it best. It's not just about throughput. It's about throughput under constraint. You can have all the TPS in the world, but if it only works when a few people control everything on Amazon Web Services, that's not decentralization. We wanted to do it right. The fundamentals keep improving, which is great for the long-term crypto outlook. But in the short term, there's a major concern. Will these tariffs slow economic growth and crash markets?
April 2nd, investors have three things on their minds. One is they just don't know what the tariffs look like. They don't know if it's going to damage the economy. And I think third, many are just a little terrified of the policies of the White House. But post-Wednesday, I think markets are going to have some visibility, and that allows us to take some of the selling pressure off. So, yes, I think it's possible that instead of us breaking down here and seeing markets under further pressure, we're actually got the right pieces
buy,
for
though,
bottom.
into this without knowing what's on the other side of it? That is the fundamental question that people are sitting around trying to figure out today and tomorrow.
That's right. It's an interminable wait for people because it is still 3 days, and they're fearful that we could have 3 days of down 2%. But I kind of agree with Larry Fink. I think the U.S. is going to come out of this okay. I mean, Brexit's an example. Brexit happened, and the U.K. economy emerged okay. It didn't have a huge recession, and the stock market did okay.
Analyst Tom Lee believes that once we get past the tariffs, markets will have room to rally. In fact, he's predicting Bitcoin could hit $150,000 or higher by the end of the year. But let's address a key question from the comments section of our last video. Why are tariffs bad for Bitcoin? It's simple. Tariffs are essentially a tax on global trade, and taxes limit transactions. If global trade slows down, manufacturing shifts back to the US, and countries start isolating their economies to avoid tariffs, overall economic activity declines. And when economic growth slows, risk assets, like Bitcoin and altcoins, tend to take a hit. But there's another perspective. Bitcoin operates in two buckets. It's both digital gold and a hedge asset. So while a slowdown in global trade could hurt altcoins, Bitcoin might actually benefit if more countries move toward it as an alternative to the US dollar. Bitcoin dominance is sitting at an eye-popping 60%, while Ethereum's dominance has plunged to just 7.95%, near all-time lows. This dynamic could signal an incoming shift. Maybe this turns into a buy the rumor, sell the news event, and altcoins start regaining strength. Or maybe Bitcoin keeps dominating. The truth is, no one knows exactly what price will do tomorrow, and neither do I. But what I can do is give you the insights, the news, and the perspective you need to make the best decisions for your crypto investments. And here's why Tom Lee remains bullish, why he believes that after tariffs, Bitcoin could be heading for six figures by year end.
Could be stacking?
I think so.
You do, at 80.
Yeah, I think part of this was Bitcoin seasonally was just not going to be attractive until after March ends, and now we're finally exiting March. And so I think not only is the calendar looking better, but as you're saying, Fed and central banks are easing, QT's ending. I think that with positive Washington sort of tailwinds means I think Bitcoin can do well to the end of the year.
Right. People love it when I ask you what your year-end target is on Bitcoin, because
yeah, and
makes people very excited.
Yes, and I mean,
one crazy high again.
I think it's still 150 or higher as possible. Okay. I know it doesn't feel like it, but once we get through this tariff and that agenda around tariffs, markets can look forward to things that could be positive.
That is the video.